Greetings, it is I again, it's Bob. Wanted to talk a little more about the KiwiSDR and SDRs in general. As I said before in my last video, I really love DX, and it's one of my favorite things to do. And especially with the SDRs that are online. These SDRs are located all over the world, and each one of the SDRs has their own antenna attached to them. So if there's a receiver, a software-defined radio in Egypt with an antenna attached to it, I can receive anything, any transmission that individual is receiving in Egypt, and I can receive it online here at my very fingertips, and I can tune through whatever bands they have, and I can tune into any one of those frequencies. I can tune, and whether it be the shortwave broadcast bands, whether it be ham bands, whether it be long wave, whether it be medium wave, I can tune into any of those. So I kind of want to hit probably two of the biggest online SDRs. The first one is websdr.org. So I'm going to go flip over there. And as you can see, here's one here. It's in Brazil, and here's the link to that particular SDR, and here are the different bands that are attached to it. And it just so happens that they have the antennas for each of those bands or group of bands. Yeah, and here's another one for Utah. Here's one for where is that? Ordino. Not quite sure where that's at. Here's one in San Francisco. Here's one in the Netherlands, Germany, Cheshire, Pennsylvania, and we can go down the list here. This particular site has a very large collection of SDRs, and I'm pretty sure, I think the SDRs are different too. It's not like KiwiSDR where they're only using Kiwis. They're using different SDRs, and they have them hooked up, and they're hooked up online, and we can access each and every one of those. And I'll just give you a little example how this one looks. Here's one in France. Let's link into that. I'm not quite sure what it looks like. I've never been here before. I have to warn you about this site too. Sometimes the audio is kind of wonky. Depending on what browser you're using, will allow you to get audio. So let's go into 80 meters. Here's the receiver. And here's how we change the channel for that band, the 80 meter band. And you can zoom in on the waterfall, you can zoom out, max in. You can change the speed of the waterfall. You can change modes. Got CW, lower sideband, upper sideband, AM, FM. narrow, just a whole mess of different modes that we can go through depending on what we're trying to access. And it just so happens that on the 80 meter band, everything's in lower sideband. And it doesn't look like, let's max out here. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any activity on this band for France. You can see that the waterfall is working. There just isn't anything going on. Let's back out of here. Let's try to find something that's got a little more activity in it. Actually shouldn't be in here. Probably should get into KiwiSDR, but I wanted to show you the different resources for accessing the bands and whatnot and so on and so forth. Netherlands, let's see if we can find something. Here's Greece. Let's try Greece. We tried that yesterday, got into Greece yesterday. Why not do it again? Oh, look at that, a nice picture. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that. Nice flat water, no ripples. Beautiful picture with all those colors. Very nice. Okay, and here we go. You see this right here? It says Waterfall. Java, HTML5. This is for the waterfall. Sound, Java, HTML5. And right here, Chrome, audio, start. So I'm going to click that. There we go. We got audio. And we got some action on the waterfall too. And I want to zoom in. There we go. We're zooming in, and we can move the waterfall by left clicking and dragging. And if we want to access that particular signal, go right below it and then left click. And the tuning bar will move to that frequency. So right now, this is the frequency that we're on. Wow, what frequency is that? That's way the heck up there. Yeah, we're in FN mode. And it looks like he has another radio down here. But I just wanted to show you this particular website for the web SDR. I'm not too crazy about this one because the radio is kind of weird. It's not easy to operate. The audio is kind of weird. The audio requirements, and so we'll just get out of here and we will go into KiwiSDR. This is my favorite right here. I think, to me, this is the best. There are different ways of accessing the different receivers. So right here it says list of receivers. You know, once you get into the KiwiSDR.com site, you can go to list of receivers, or you can go to the map. So I'll show you both ways. So here, let's go into the list of receivers, and here we have a whole mess of receivers. There are a lot of receivers. I'll just kind of quickly blast through the list. You can see it just keeps going and going and going. What did it say up here? Right now there's 613 receivers online. And there are 772 people listening. So it's quite a collection, and they're all in different parts of the world. Like right here, here's one in Milwaukee, Netherlands, Finland, Louisiana, New Zealand. Another one for the Netherlands, Ukraine, Iceland. Iceland's kind of a crazy location. If you're into Whisper, doing Whisper and finding out what bands are open and using Whisper to do that, Iceland is like the perfect location to do that. I have gotten so many hits on that, just being in the different receivers in Iceland. At some point I'll show you how to use Whisper. But let's pick well, I don't want to pick it yet. I want to show you the different ways. But also, let's say you want a receiver in Russia. So we'll go up here to the search bar and type in Russia. And it helps if I spell it right, huh? Here we go. So you type in Russia, and here are all the receivers in various parts of Russia right here. It looks like there might be 10 of them or so. Let's try Kentucky here in the States. Hit that one. So we got 2 receivers in Kentucky. There's one in Lexington, Kentucky, and here's one in Northern Kentucky. And this one just so happens to be my favorite. I really I especially love the guys down south. Those guys are down to earth, and they don't act like they're smarter than everybody else, and they're just really down to earth kind of guys. I love listening to these guys, especially on 80 meters. And some of them they're really funny. Sometimes they lock horns with each other, and it's funny to listen to them locking horns with each other, and you think about a subject to talk about, and a lot of these guys will talk about it. They're not stuck up on just strictly talking about ham radio. They'll talk about the weather, they'll talk about this, that, and so on and so forth. So this is a way to access the different receivers. Now the other way, if we go to the map, and I'll click on the map, and here we go. Here's the map. And I tried finding the legend the other day about what the different colors mean, and I just can't find it. I can't remember where in the world the legend is for what the different colors are. For the most part, most of these are up and running. Some of them won't be up and running. You'll know right away if you can get into it or not. So, and also they have the gray here to show you, your nighttime bands. What's going to be your nighttime bands and what's going to be your daytime bands. And right now, it just so happens that most of Europe is in the sunlight. Europe, Asia, Australia, all these guys are in daylight. All the Americas are in dark right now. So right now we're in the nighttime bands. And lately, 160 and 80 meters has just been super busy, and really good reception. And so I'm really appreciating how wide open these HF bands are. So I'm gonna zoom in and zoom out just a little bit here. So we can see the names of the states and such. So, you know, you got Philadelphia, New York, West Virginia, Kentucky. And remember I told you Northern Kentucky was my favorite. Oh my God, where'd it go? Yeah, you can get lost real easy if you're not paying attention. And my my geography isn't the greatest, so I'm not able to move around the map. Let's see, here's Lexington, Kentucky. I think this might be northern. Yep, here it is right here, Northern Kentucky. Let's find out exactly where it's at. It looks like Highland Heights, Cold Spring. Never been there. Someday I might. Someday I might make it there. Now, if you want to get into that receiver, you just click the little pin in the map, and then this will pop up right here. Well, first let me do this. Let's back out of that, and I'll just highlight it. Right now, it shows what the SDR is capable of. So right now it's 0 to 30 megahertz. It says it's in Northern Kentucky. Set up as KiwiSDR, and it tells you the version. It's hooked to a GPS. It has DRM, and the antenna is a dipole antenna. And also, if you notice, there's a score given to the receiver. You know, it's 23 dBs. So I'm imagining that that's pretty good, because usually when I get into this receiver, it's very, very good. So however that score translates into what its performance is totally something that you're going to have to read up on. I haven't read up on it. I don't understand it completely, but that's what that is. And also, each receiver is capable, well, in this particular one, is capable of having up to 4 people. Now, I've never been locked out of this receiver, so you know, I don't think you'll ever have to worry being locked out, although there are some receivers that I've been locked out of. So I don't know if it's locked out because certain people are just, you know, hams will use SDRs to check out what how the bands are performing. So sometimes you'll get in there and the band will be, you'll be locked out because there's too many people in there. I think the biggest receiver I've seen is 8 people. You can have up to 8 people in there. So I really wouldn't worry about it. So get in here, click, and it turns green, and it further reinforces where it's at and what its frequencies is capable of hitting. And left click it, and boom, we're in the radio, and we're attached to that radio in Northern Kentucky. We're attached to that antenna, and at the moment we're on medium wave. And it just so happens I really like AM 700. I think recycling and beautify the red eye guys are on right now.
Every mindful action and sustainable habit has a positive impact.
Let me get out of there.
And it all adds up.
So now if you want to go into long wave, you can do that also. So right now what you do is left click on the waterfall, and you can drag the waterfall across, and left click, drag, left click, drag. Okay, here we go. So here's very low frequency utility, long wave broadcast, NDB utility. I looked that up once. I can't remember what the heck it is. If you zoom in, sometimes you get some helpful little tags like this right here. Evidently, some of these things are labels. Like if you go over here to long wave broadcast, so here it says DDH 47. I think the Ger means Germany. I got further move in here. Also, if you want to zoom in on the waterfall, zoom in on the frequency, you can use your scroll wheel on your mouse. So I'm going to scroll out, and as you can see, I'm scrolling out. I'm getting huger bandwidth, massive bandwidth, and I just keep scrolling out, and I'll completely scroll out. And here we are from 0 all the way to 30 megahertz. And when you look at this, you can see that there's a lot of action from 0 kilohertz all the way up to 10 megahertz. You can kind of see something on 15, but don't let that fool you either, because so like I go over here to 20, I'll zoom in, and when you zoom in, you could see stuff that you couldn't see, because the frequencies aren't super strong. There's something there. That might be a spurious signal or some sort of data transmission. Come over here. So here's 15 meters. 15 meter ammeter band. If you look at the top up here, it's very helpful. It spells it out for you. So 15 meter ammeter band and 13 meter broadcast band. So that's pretty cool that they have that visually laid out for you. So just because you're zoomed all the way out and you don't see anything, that does not mean that there isn't something there, because there is. So if you're DXing and you want to go from 0 all the way up to 30, just for giggles, don't let that zoomed out view deter you from actually going into those bands that don't look like they got anything going on, because there's something going on there. Also, here is the interface for everything that you need to do. WF, which actually means waterfall, which is where we are right now. We can control everything from this tab. So we have waterfall, we have audio, we have your AGC. Here it also tells us how many users are on. Right now I'm the only one that's on. out of the 4 possible users that can be on here. And here's a stat tab, which I'm not, privy to all that information, what it means, or educated in what all that means. So you'll have to forgive me for not being able to comment on that. So I usually stay here in the waterfall section, and right now I want to go to 80 meters. So if you go to the very top, you can type in frequency for 80 meters. Like right now, I'll type in 3916, hit enter, and boom, it goes right to it. So I'm going to scroll in. I'm going to scroll into 80 meter band, see what we got going on. And like I said, this is the nighttime band, and so it's busy. A lot of these guys will stay up till 3, 4 in the morning playing around on the bands. So I'm gonna go in here, and here are the mode selections right here. So you got AM, SAM, DRM, lower sideband, upper sideband, continuous wave. Well, you get the message. It so happens that pretty much all 80 meters is lower sideband.
Perfect reception. I mean, crystal clear.
And as you can see, here's the tuner right here. You can left click, move it, left click, move it across like so, like yay. And you can, and if you really want to fine tune your tuning, you can really zoom in there and just barely move stuff.
I get some real good perks from them. They pay for my AAA every year, and other things as well. So I
tune this in, make it sound a little more natural.
I really would like to have consistency here in the house, and
it's not too bad.
I know to do that, Steve told me I'd have to hardwire from my router.
There, I'll accept that.
Or my modem.
So typing into the search bar is one way to tune to a particular band or frequency that you're interested in. Also, you can fine tune using these buttons. So you can go minus 10 hertz, or you can go, or kilohertz, or you can go plus 10 kilohertz.
And they told me no.
And you can go minus 100, or you can go, these are hertz all the way up to 1 kilohertz.
It's crap.
So sorry about not getting that right, but that's how it is. So if you want to fine tune 1 kilohertz, just click it and you can see it moving. You want to go minus, click it again. You want to go 10 hertz, click that. You want to go 1 hertz, you can do that. Now another way you can zoom super fast to a band is we have this pull down here. I'm going to get that off signal there so I can not hear these guys talking. So click the pull down. You can see here it says broadcast, and then it has all the different bands. And then here's a utility. Go further down, ammeter, beacons, markers. So there's a variety of things here. You even have the time. So like if I go to 10 megahertz, that timestamp station should be banging away.
10, 15, and 20 megahertz, providing time
Yep.
of day, standard time interval, and other related information. Inquiries regarding these transmissions may be directed to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, radio station WWV, 2000 East County Road 58, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80524.
Yeah, so if you wanna know what time it is, and you don't have a clock available to you, you can flip to, you can pull this pull down and get to the time. So that was 10 megahertz. Let's go to 5 megahertz. Let's go to 2500 megahertz. Or, yeah, 2.5 megahertz. Let's flip that. Let's see what the reception is like there. It's also another good way to check what the band is like with that antenna that you're accessing. So 2.5 megahertz isn't super strong right now, but it so happens that 5 megahertz and 10 megahertz is humming. Looks pretty good. Also, Canada has theirs. Let's see if we can access that. Yeah, that one's not up. And of course that's going to be kind of iffy since it's kind of a daytime channel or band. Let's go to 7.5. Yeah, you can hear it. Canada does theirs a little different. It kind of has this countdown beep. You can hear it. The reception's pretty bad there. Let me see if I can find a better. Let's go to this one. Yeah, here we go. This one's a little better. So we'll let that count down so you can get an idea how it sounds.
CHU, Canada. Coordinated Universal Time. 5 hours, 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Well, you get the idea. That's how it sounds. That's Canada's version of coordinated universal time. Let me get that off frequency there. Also, if you're not sure about what time it is, KiwiSDR has the times up here in the upper right. Right now it says powered by OpenWebRx. Just wait, there it goes. So UTC's up here, and local time for where that receiver's at, that's going to be here. So right now it says that it's Eastern Standard, or Eastern Time. Also, to hit another feature, if you see, it says SPEC. If you click that, let's watch what happens. Yep. Now, is that cool or what? A spectrum scope. And if I move the waterfall, the spectrum scope's going to move with it. I'm going to go into full screen mode. There we go. So here we are in full screen mode. Kind of see everything. It's not jumbled by web tabs and so on and so forth. Also down here, see where it says PK? It says toggle peak hold. So if I click that, you can see that the peak hold for each one of these signals is now activated. And right now there's some goofy stuff going on with this band. You kind of get an idea with this big one. We can also set some of the things for the waterfall. Like here's your waterfall ceiling, and if you look on the upper, here's the spectrum scope. You look at that, and let's max it out. You can see it added it so that it can do, you can see up to plus 30 dB. And the same with waterfall floor. Click that, and that is way down there. It's just chews up too much of the waterfall. So I'm gonna do this. This doesn't look too bad right here. 0. And right now the rate for the waterfall to drop is on fast. I like mine on medium. So if we click on the line here for waterfall rate, you'll see that it went from fast to medium and that it slowed down. Also slows down the activity on the spectrum scope. So I'm going to stop this peak hold. I'm going to get out of there. And you can see how it acts. I'll go back up into high and watch we're going to fast. You could see that the waterfall moves a bit faster. I don't know what terms it could use about how fast it's actually going. But I'm going to move it back to medium. There's an auto scale button here too. I don't use it. I just set it here. So if I hit auto scale, you can see that it changed a little bit, but where I had it, I kind of like where it was. And I'm going to kick this peak back on. So also, we can, if you don't want to use the scroll wheel, like if your finger's super tired and you can't do it, you can also use the in-out button. So I'm going to zoom in, just clicking the magnifying plus glass, and you can see that that it's zooming in and it's zooming out, just like that. And it also has a max in button, so if I click max in, keep, there you go, if I click it again, it's like super in. That's like way too much information there, Jack. If I want to go max out, click it, and just too much, too far out. But that's available to you. Also, if you tuning cursor gets lost, if you click in, zoom into band, you click that, it brings you right to the cursor, to the tuner. And also, you can move through the band left to right, going up or down by clicking this. So I'm going up in frequency, and you can see that it goes by pretty quick. So you kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing. You could get lost pretty easy, but if you do get lost, just click this zoom to band, and boom, you go right back to your cursor. Alright, so there's a couple more features I want to cover before I wrap up this video. And the next feature would be the color map selection, which basically is the waterfall. By default, you know, the first time you crank it up, it's going to be Kiwi. So I'll show you real quick what it looks like. Oh, it didn't change. I'll go to KiwiSDR. Yeah, it's not working either. Let me get back into Kiwi. And let us go to 120. Well, that's not working either. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to reset real quick. So just hang on. This doesn't take long at all. Let's see if this will fix it. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't work without it, because it was working just fine. Yeah, you can see the color. The color looks different. Normally, these colors are way more vibrant and deep. Alright, so that was Kiwi. Let's go to KiwiSDR. Nothing there. Gray should definitely be gray. You can see the difference. And it looks dark, which normally it isn't this dark, so something's going on there, but I can wait till we get into another day and I could show you for sure, or you can explore on your own. I'm going to go into linear. Oh, okay, see, look, here's linear, and you can see how green that is. I'll zoom in. And the signal itself is purple. It's got a purple color to it. So if you like purple, then go ahead and select linear. Here's turbo. That's what turbo looks like. Here's SDR-DX. This is the one I like. This is my favorite right here. I just think there's a nice balance between the waterfall color and the color for the frequency. I think it's easier on the eyes, and it makes the signals, the weak signals, really pop out. So I like that way better. And these features down here, I really don't mess around with these. I've never messed around with them. If someone knows what they are, let me know. I'd be interested if they're beneficial. If not, then hey, things are working just fine. And I usually just work in this waterfall and audio tab. These are the two tabs I work the most in. I very rarely get into the AGC part. Sometimes I'll look to see how many users are on. It's not important, but almost, I'd say 95% of my work is done in the Waterfall 9 tab. And the last thing to cover is this extension tab. You click it, and you can see all these different options. The ALE2G color map, continuous wave decoder, and yes, it does work. I've gotten into Morse code, crank that thing up, and it works excellent. Sometimes it doesn't, but it works more times than not. Also, here's a fax tab. You can get facsimiles for weather. Let me see if I can get this to crank up. Now just keep in mind that depending on where you're at, you're going to want to use an antenna that's in its geographical location. So right now we're in Louisiana or Kentucky. Cranking up this one for Hamburg is not going to work for you. because we're just not in Hamburg. So although the frequencies are the same, it's just easier to come over here to the Americas and try to find some place that's close to you. Chile, Brazil, Inuvik, not quite sure what that is, Resolute, Nova Scotia, Honolulu, Kodiak, that looks like that might be somewhere in Alaska. Alright, so here's New Orleans. That might work, so let's turn that on. We'll see if we can get something. Nothing there. Let's try 8503. There we go. I think this is it. I'm going to hit clear here. We might have something here. I do not know. Yeah, it's pretty dark, so as this is decoding the transmission, it's putting the facsimile, how it's been decoded up here. And almost all of these are weather, has to do with weather. And it has to do with weather in the Atlantic, the Gulf Coast, the Pacific, in Africa, wherever's going on there, and Asia, the Asian Sea, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so that's not working there, so I'm going to clear this out and then try here. Nothing there. And nothing there. Let's go to Point Rios. Let's see what we got here. Nope. That's a mess. I remember that one. Nope. When it's operating, when they're transmitting, you're going to know right away because it really howls. It's got a pretty distinctive sound. And eventually we'll get into a transmission. I'll show you exactly what it sounds like, how to decode it. Then after it's been decoded, how to align it horizontally, because almost always these things don't align properly horizontally. I think there's a selection here for Boston. Yeah, here we go. Let's try Boston. $91.10. It's not working. Nope. I'm gonna do this. I got this set up for my faxing. So if you look right here, I have a folder for faxing. I'm gonna go to Hamburg. Hopefully it's running. These do run on schedules. There's a schedule, and you can access the schedule. If I go here to fax schedule, you can download this fax schedule, and I will go down here to Europe. North America, Pacific, Europe, and it should be yeah, here we go. So Hamburg. Here are the schedules, and these are UTC time. So I'm gonna run this back over here. SDR, fax. And I'm gonna pick this one. So right now it's 5:45 UTC. 5:25. One just passed. So technically the next one isn't till 6:38. And those particular maps for the one at 6:38, it's information of tropical storms in the North Atlantic during the season. And as you go down the list for the particular times, you can see the different maps that will pop up for the respective times. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to go through the extensions. Let's see this, find the fax. Sometimes they'll run out of schedule. Alright, so here's Hamburg. Oh, here we go. This one's going to be running here pretty quick. I don't know exactly when. So you hear this annoying sound. And right now it's running. It's scrolling through the screen. I'm going to mute this audio because it is incredibly annoying. Well, actually, I'll use the mute button right here. So 3855, that's the frequency that we're on. And right now it's 120 lines per minute. And that's usually what all these run at, 120 lines per minute. As you can see, the blue background is being overtaken by a white background. Now when this cranks up, you're going to want to clear the screen of that white background. So just hit clear and it'll clear it out. Let's see what else. And that's it. I mean, pretty much everything is set up for you, and all you have to do is find the right time, select, make sure you're in the correct country, and just go through the frequencies until you find one that is listed for that time. So like I said, right now, it's 5:49. There isn't supposed to be one till 6:38, and it's probably going to do this annoying tone until 6:38, but I just wanted to show you how to get to it and how it works. Now if you find a fax that's outside this list, you basically do the same thing. You go over here to fax, don't select anything here, just stay on frequency, and then stay on upper sideband and adjust your tuner until you get a good picture. And I'll give you a sample of what some of the maps look like. So I'll back this out of here, We'll go here, fax weather, fax weather, fax weather, come on. And go to Asia. I got a real good one out of China. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this wasn't on the list. This one I actually chose the right mode and tone, or right mode and frequency. Yeah, here we go. That's what it looks like right there. That's what you'll pull up. That's what one of the maps looks like. So I just thought I'd show that to you. Here we go. Go back. So basically, this is how this works. So I will eventually go through all these different modes. Oh, like let's pick this waterfall. I'm gonna go here. So waterfall timestamp is off. I kind of like it every 30 seconds. So now it's going to timestamp the waterfall. Yeah, here we go. So this is UTC time. It's time stamped. UTC time. So like right now I have the spectrum scope on, and I have the clock covered. So if it's written on the waterfall, you don't have to worry about it, because you don't have to worry about backing out of the spectrum scope like right here and then going up and looking at the clock and then coming back and going to the spectrum scope. And now it's just written on the waterfall. So that's a nice little feature there. I'm going to go back to waterfall, show you what it looks like every 2 seconds. Yeah, there you go. So if you think 30 seconds is a little too slow for you, yeah, here's every 2 seconds. Alright, so I think I'm going to wrap this video up. If you have any questions, let me know. Write something down in the comments. And till the next video, talk to you later.